Welcome to the pattern tutorial for the red belt for the pattern HWA, performed by the red belt holder going for your black stripe at your next grading. Okay, so this pattern starts in Moi Jumbi Sogi C, which is pretty much the same as B, but you've got your hands out in front, and your right hand is always nearest to you with your left hand on top of your middle three fingers. So middle three fingers on top of the middle three fingers, okay? So the pattern starts with a left palm pushing block, so you're going to step the left leg out in a circular motion. So you're going to raise your right, step out, and palm pushing block in line with your shoulder, and then two single punches. Two single punches. Then pivot on the left leg, bringing your right leg into L stance, and twin punch to the right. From here, straighten your legs and pull your hand back all the way around, and drop into your L stance, bringing your right hand back to your chest and show me an upward punch. From here, drop your right hand to your belt and point your left where you're going. Pull back a little bit and you're going to jump in, you're going to slide using the sliding motion into a fixed stance with a side punch. So both feet moved. In one yo, your front foot only slid. In this pattern, in HWA, both feet slide. From here, you pull back into vertical stance, and from on top, show me a downward knife hand strike. Ready? And then walk forwards and punch. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to here when you've just slid, because a lot of people perform this in fast motion. And in fact, I actually teach that in my class. In the book, there's nothing to say that that is done in fast motion. It just looks nicer in the pattern to break it up a little bit, okay? So starting from the beginning again. So Moi Jumbi Sogi C with your right hand nearest to you and your left hand on top of your middle three fingers. So three fingers on top of three fingers. You're going to step your left leg out into sitting stance with a palm pushing block. So you take the weight, ready, raise your right hand and step out, palm pushing block in line with your shoulder, followed by two single punches. Pivot on your left leg, bringing your right leg in as you cross your hands, straighten and drop into forearm twin block in L stance. Straighten your legs and bring your hand round in a big uppercut. So it's like an uppercut, we call it a circle block, bringing your right hand to your chest. Drop your right hand to your belt, pointing your left hand where you're going, pull back a little bit, and in a sliding motion with both feet into a fixed stance, so it's 50-50. Side punch. Then pull back into vertical stance with a downward knife hand strike and walk forwards, middle section punch. From there you turn into the front with a little move. So pull back halfway in front of this foot, look at your watch, straighten with a backward movement and low block to the front. Ready? Walking forwards into walking stance, middle section punch. From here, you're going to pull your back leg in halfway. So you're going to step your back leg in halfway, bringing your left palm to the front of your elbow, whilst lifting your elbow up about 45 degrees. You pretend someone's grabbed your hand. You're going to pull both hands back to your belt as you kick and land in an L stance with a knife hand strike. Okay, so going back to here, you step your back foot in halfway, lift your elbow up about 45 degrees and grab the side of your hand. Pull both hands back to your belt whilst you perform a side piercing kick. Land from on top in a knife hand strike. Okay? Walk forwards and punch one, midsection. I'm just correcting myself from the camera. And walk forwards and punch two, midsection punch. From there, you're going to turn your back foot backwards, just like Dangun, Dosan, and all the rest. So pull your back foot in, halfway in front of the other foot. Hold your eggs and straighten. And drop knife hand guarding block. Okay? From here, you're going to walk forwards into walking stance, straight fingertip thrust. So a step turn from here, so you step your foot into the central line, bring the other foot in halfway, hold your eggs and straighten, and drop into a knife hand guarding block. Okay, then you're going to perform two turning kicks, high section, which means chest to head. Okay? So you're going to perform one, then two in fast motion and land in a knife hand guarding block. So you're going to go 1, 2, land in a knife hand guarding block. And those two kicks are performed in fast motion. Okay. From here, you're going to pull back halfway, straighten your legs and low block to the back. And pull back into L stance and drop into a punch, middle section punch to your center. Walk forwards into L stance, repeat middle section punch, walk forwards into L stance, repeat middle section punch. From here, you're going to pivot on your right leg, stepping your front leg out into walking stance with a downward X block. From here, you're going to step forwards and slide into reverse elbow with a backwards, it looks like a double elbow thrust, but it's a backwards elbow thrust in reverse L stance, okay? From here, you're going to step your left leg in and drop your right hand. So basically, if you do it in slow motion, you're going to drop your right and raise your left, pulling your left leg round, and then performing a middle block with your right hand and a low block with your left hand. Okay? Now, so you do that faster than that, obviously, but you can do it slow to begin with. So from your side elbow thrust, you drop your right, raise your left, bring your left leg round, and perform a middle block with your left hand on the inside. The low block goes on the inside, middle block on the outside, and you don't bounce. Then you repeat, and you do bounce this time. So you come onto your heels, your hands can come apart a little bit, and then your right hand goes on the inside. Left hand on the outside, middle low block. So going back again to here, you drop your right as you come round, and block, left hand on the inside. Then on your heels, on your toes, so your heels come off, and block. And you're going to step your left leg out, so take the weight, hold your eggs, left leg out, knife and guarding block. Then step together, take the weight, and step out, knife and guarding block. And that's the end of the pattern. So your right leg stepped out, so step your right leg back. Back to Moe Jumbi Sogi C with your right hand closest to you. Okay, so that's pattern Hwarang. It's quite a nice flowing pattern, it's Hwarang. But we'll try and show you the section going to the back again, but coming towards the camera, okay? So you've just finished your 2 turning kicks in fast motion and landed in a knife and guarding block. So you're going to low block to the front, so you're going to pull back, take the weight, straighten with the backward movement, low block to the back, like that. Then you're going to pull back and drop into L stance with an obverse punch. Now remember, in class I call this a reverse punch, but this is a right L stance. So it's my right hand, so it's actually an obverse punch. But just for sake of the way we teach it, let's just call this a reverse punch for now, okay? Then I'm going to repeat, sliding forwards into L stance, obverse punch, and again, obverse punch in L stance. From here, you pivot on your back leg, your right leg, and step your front leg out into walking stance, downward X block, and then jump your right leg forwards into a reverse facing L stance with a side elbow thrust. So it's jumping forwards and slide into reverse elbow thrust. I'm going to bring my left leg round and drop my right hand and raise my left. So I'm going to drop my right, raise my left, and block, left hand on the inside. And then the second time, I lift up onto my heels, bringing my hands apart, and then drop again, okay, with the other side. So when I'm blocking, my high hand comes on the inside. Yeah, so my low blocking hand comes on the inside, and same the other way. Then you step your left leg out into knife and guarding block, step together, take the weight, and step out into knife and guarding block. Okay, so again, hopefully you can follow the pattern with me doing it normally facing the camera, and then when you study the section going to the back, put them both together, and hopefully you'll be fine. Okay, so that's your end of your tutorial for pattern Hwarang.